Life can be hard, and we've all faced those moments that seem to stop us dead in our tracks. But what if those moments of difficulty, the bad news, could actually be a springboard for something greater? I'm Cam Garvin, and each week I'll bring you stories of extraordinary resilience and conversations about lives and ideas that are productive. This is the Productive Lives Podcast. This July, I traveled with a team to the Navajo Nation in Arizona. The Navajo are the largest federally recognized Native American tribe in the United States, with a population of over 400,000. We took about 20 people from different states to the res, and we did a vacation Bible school, if you're not familiar with that. That is a kids outreach that we do, that a lot of churches do. It's with Bible stories and sports and a snack, and we have a lot of fun. And we went to Hidden Springs Bible Church, and those were our partners there. And VBS has been going on for years. I also had the privilege to sit down with several individuals and ask them their story. Each of these conversations reminded me that the people in the Navajo reservation are not just trying to survive, but to thrive. They're stories of adventure, redemption, and productive lives. Welcome to the podcast. This is Cam Garvin. I'm with Bill and Grace Mannings, new friends of mine, probably about a year, maybe it seems
well, this
longer.
one a little bit longer, kind of. It's circumstance-wise, right?
Oh, circumstance, yes. Yeah. We've known each other somehow for over 30 years, and we're only 29. So we took a trip with Bill and a group of 20 of us out to Navajo. Some of you have been listening to the podcast. We just want to kind of cap it off and see their vision for what's going on. But first of all, introduce yourselves. How in the world did you get together? Because I saw a picture. Grace, you didn't see this, but a picture of you and Bill in front and a group of people in front of Hidden Springs Bible Church. But you looked a lot younger.
Yes. Many years ago.
Tell us a little bit about your family. How'd you get to Philadelphia and Navajo, and how does that all work? And then we're kind of like at the end, we want to talk about, so what's next for Navajo? We've been dreaming. Right. We kind of got together, Bill, and I think it's a divine thing. I know it's a divine thing. So just tell us a little bit about yourselves before we jump into just Navajo res stuff.
Yeah, it's just a long story, a lot of things, in between. But kind of give you the short story. So Grace and I met in Virginia. We went to the same middle school together, the same high school together, the same church together, but never met. I always say she was in school. She was always on the honors classes, advanced, so that they're on different hallways. I was always in the other hallway. And in church, we always sat on different sides. And so we both went to college. I went to, back then it was PCB, Philadelphia College of Bible. She went to UVA, University of Virginia.
Wow.
And so we both graduated, came back home, back to Virginia. And then we met as we were teaching together and then going to the same Bible study. And then, got married in 2002. And
so who caught whose eye though? Like you saw each other after all that, which is very weird that you did talk. And did you chase him, Grace, or Bill's like, oh, look at that girl?
No, I was interested in just Jesus. I had just come out of a long-term relationship and really I was focused on my relationship with God. Went to a small group. This guy was there. And I said, not dating right now.
It was definitely me who first noticed. I can still remember the sweater she had on, the jeans she had on, coming into the college and career Bible study, and just totally unexpected. And but I just remember that night, and that for me that was kind of like it was. I wouldn't say it was love at first sight, but it was pretty close.
That's cool. Wow, what a neat story. So your focus wasn't on Jesus during the small group.
Well, that's a whole nother story. I was in a deep, deep, dark depression.
Bring it up, Cam.
So
brings it up all the time. So let's talk about that.
Trying to survive the day, but she was definitely, I think, a part of God's plan and some light during that time. So that's why it took me a long time to kind of get the clue that this was it. But yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you brought it up. You bring it up. I think it's important because I have family members, I have friends. We've all gone through something. So could you just briefly, that has shaped your ministry? I'm assuming your parenting, your relationships. So could you briefly talk about that, Bill? That could be a whole nother episode, but how does that shape even where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally shaped everything. For me, there's a family history of whether it's depression or I'm sure with my dad and my grandfather, it wasn't diagnosed, but my grandfather committed suicide when I was 10 years old. I can remember seeing my dad come home and just, 3 o'clock during the day, and he is in a recliner with the blankets over his head, and you just knew like he can't talk to him. He can't really communicate this time. And just there was no words for it, but him struggling with that. And for me, it hit me right when I was graduating college, probably a little bit before, but yeah, 21, 22, and then just had no clue what was going on and tried to seek counsel. And the counsel I got was not helpful. It was even just, it made it worse. But that went into a full blown 2 year, deep depression, which I had to, leave what I was doing and come home and live at home and just try to figure things out. And then that's kind of when I met her. And from there kind of came out of that, but it was always just something that was hovering there. And then probably in my late 30s, early 40s, it came again. And that was about a year and a half of just kind of the same exact thing. And I've learned a lot since then. And I still have those days, which they're tough, but I've learned a lot of the signs and the triggers which it can kind of come on, and I've also learned like when it comes to what to do, and that's really helped. And so, but that's been a huge part of my life, and even just kind of seeing as my kids get older, you can kind of pick it out like, well, I think you've got it, and I think you've got it, and it's just something that is there, but it's definitely something. It's funny. I tell people now, and it's true. Like I wouldn't change it. There's been so many good things that have come through that as you walk through it and learn about it, and just also within ministry, just helping other people who are in that. So wouldn't go back and change it if I could, but it's definitely been difficult during certain seasons for her and me, for sure.
Thanks for sharing that, because I think a lot of people deal with it, and back in the day was like, just get over it, get through it. Now there's some mental health issue. People can help you. There's medicine. There's also coping. I know some friends that some coping mechanisms. So I appreciate it. I mean, you think of the scripture, you think of David. Was he depressed? Yeah. Read some of the Psalms. Elijah, just kill me right now. I don't want to do anything else. After some great victories.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you sharing that. And that's part of your story. I'm sorry you had to go through it. I'm sorry you go through it. But I think it's probably made you a better man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, no one prays for that. Make me a better man. Not that way, but some other way.
A little bit easier, maybe.
Make me a better man without any problems. Well, thank you for sharing. So you got together, you got married, and then what happened from there? Great.
We got married. We were both in education. He eventually joined ministry, became a youth pastor, associate pastor for 15 years or so. We had a bunch of kids. We have 4 daughters. Let me shout them out. SP is 22. Gianna is 20. Isabella is almost 18. And Evangeline is 15. So those are our 4 daughters. So we love them. We're really proud of them. We're thankful for them. So we had them. I'm in education. He's in the ministry. And every year since he's been 18, he's been going to the reservation. Since I'm like 20-ish, we've been going to the reservation every summer, mission trip, developing these relationships. Beautiful. You've been there. It's so beautiful. Yeah. People are amazing. You just fall in love with everything, right? Yes. Eventually we start going Christmas time as well, and then.
Yeah, then we moved out there.
Yeah. They'd be like, why don't we just stay there for 5 years? 5 years?
Yeah. From 2018 to 2023.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what impressed me when we were out there is the relationships you guys built. It was like Bill Manning Day. And if Grace was there, it'd be the Manning Day and Bella being there. It was really cool because, yes, it was VBS for kids, but I sat with uncles or aunts and grandmas and people that came for dinner. So VBS And that was not the excuse, but it was the hook, and it was
Right.
awesome with the kids. We need to do that. Little Bear, some of the kids I remember, and then the young adults that you just poured into. So be proud. The 5 years, I don't know if it was easy or hard. You can talk about that, but when we got out there, it wasn't all about you guys, but it was about you guys telling people about Jesus, and they flocked to it. They flocked back to it. I still hear stories from Anna and some others. So tell us, so if they're 5 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, going out there, I know for me at least, even before I met Grace, I mean, the first time I went out there when I was 18 in 1995, I remember thinking to myself, I could see myself being out here. Like, I love this ministry. And for me, that was like life changing. I mean, I was already enrolled to go to school to study fire administration to become a firefighter.
That's right.
And just remember coming home and like, man, there's nothing better that I could imagine doing than this. And there was about a year or two of just transition of stopping that path and walking down a different path. But I know for us, every year we went, man, I could see myself here. I kind of want to be here and trying it for, I know 2 or 3 times. There were times that either I tried to go before I met Grace, or we even thought about going together. And it was just very clear, man. It was like the door was closed and it had multiple locks, and the answer was just no.
I get that.
And then I think, 2017, we went out there. We would take a group of anywhere from 25 to over 30, usually high school kids.
Yep.
So from 1995 to 2017, we're taking groups out there every single year.
Wow.
And we came back 2017. I remember being on the plane, and just the words that came to my mind was, "It's time." And I'm not one who, like, I'm very skeptical when I think I'm hearing from God. Like,
Is this really you, God? Do you really want me out there?
Me.
Is it something I ate, or is I'm just tired? But it was just something that was just like, it seemed more than just my thoughts. And I can remember I told Grace, I said, I'm having this thought that, and it's just the words that it's time. And to me, that means we're supposed to move out here. And without hesitation, she said, yes, I'm hearing the same thing too.
Wow. That's confirmation.
Like, why would you uproot your family? I mean,
I don't know.
basically born and raised in Virginia.
Yes.
I wasn't born there, and raise your 4 kids. Our families are there. He's got a good job. Love our church home. Like, I cry about it because that's like uprooting and taking them somewhere very different.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Culturally, like location wise. And it was a very clear yes, but it was also like a sad, like, we're leaving home. But now we consider like the reservation in our home. You talk about like Bill Manning Day or whatever day, and it's really not. It's us going home and reconnecting with our family.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it is.
How did your families react? Because you get that from God. And Mary and I it's great when your wife and the husband both go, yes, instead of like, I want to do this, you want to do that. That's an awesome thing. But your families, like you just said, Grace, they're probably like, you're taking my grandbabies, or you're taking my kids. And
that would be my mom. My mom was not happy.
Every mom doesn't want you to leave, right? Please stay home.
My mom was not happy. She came around, but she was not happy. But she supported us. Eventually, with time, she came around, but she wasn't happy. Your family is pretty great.
Yeah, and with our kids, like we came back that summer 2017, and we said, well, let's just take 6 months to think about the possibility of going. Like, let's not make any rash decisions, but pray about it, think about it, and if we feel the same way in December, all right, then we'll start preparing. And we felt the exact same way. So 6 months, we felt the exact same way. So then we sat our kids down and told them what we were thinking, and not even really saying, hey, we've already decided this. We want to know what you think. This is a big decision, a big move. And for the most part, I mean, they were all for it. I mean, there was like none of them said no. I mean, there's always, they're sad to leave, but excited to go. I think for my family, it was a little bit easier. It wasn't easy, but it was easier because they knew like the history of us going out there and my heart for out there. And so, so that was January of 2018. And, for us, it was, telling friends, telling family, telling the church, thinking, okay, we probably got a year and a half to do this, because we got there was no mission organizations to go out under. So we started our own nonprofit, had to raise money, and we were thinking year and a half, and it took 6 months. It was unreal. I mean,
Another confirmation, right?
Yeah.
To me, that's another confirmation. That's cool. That's
everything fell into place. I mean, the money was there, so
sold our house like that.
Yeah, I mean, and so from January 2018, and then we were out there in July 2018. So yeah, it was just I tell people it's like I felt like I was on a wave, and I'm like God's doing this, and I'm just riding the wave. And these things are happening faster and in much better ways than I could ever imagine. And then by July of 2018, we were out there.
And I'm sure Hidden Springs or the people I met were thrilled. They didn't have a pastor, right? Or did they?
They had an intern. He would come down once a week, to preach, but that was an hour and a half. But as far as someone there full time and doing more than just the Sunday services, yeah, there was really nobody there. And that was the cool thing. We had been going out there for, I mean, probably 25 years plus at that point. And so we knew the community. We knew, I mean, even, not being a Navajo, we're really not supposed to be there.
He's not.
Yeah, he looks Navajo.
He's definitely white.
Speaking Bath, but it was just because we had connections, and we had even people that aren't a part of a church will tell us we consider you to be a part of our family, and so it was just very.
That's cool.
Yeah, welcoming arms. Yeah, so they were thrilled. We were thrilled. Yeah, everybody was thrilled that we were there, us included.
Oh, that's cool. I see like a pattern of obedience, a pattern of building relationships, agreeing together, listening to God. And I like that because sometimes when God told me I'm going to do this next week, it's like, well, let's just think about it.
Right.
Because I do have friends, and we all have friends that I'm going to do it. God told me I'm going to do it the next day. I'm like, but that's their personality too. And God works through that. But you guys took time to listen to God, and that the girls were excited, Yeah. So how was it there for 5 years? How did that chapter end? And now what are we doing with the res now?
I mean, obviously there were the ups and downs, right? We're in a new place. We're adjusting to a new routine. Bill is working full time as a teacher because, we're supplementing our nonprofit work. He does that for 3 years. And eventually the nonprofit takes him on full time, which was a blessing. We're commuting for the girls like an hour. Well, did you guys go to Page? It's about 45 minutes.
Everything's 20 minutes an hour for it's like, let's go to the store. We got to go.
Leaving at 6 a.m. to go to school or work, coming back late in the evenings, especially if the girls have sports and athletics. And then like weekends are full of ministry and reaching out to the community, which is great. So it was kind of like a blur. And it was also maybe for me, one of the loneliest times for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a people person. I'm an extrovert. And we're in the middle of got Glenn across the way, Grandma Bessie over here, Grandma Mary over here. And, but I learned a lot about my relationship with God. So if that was the only plus of us being up there for 5 years, hey, I'll take it. There were so many other things, but God really taught me about his faithfulness and my relationship with him. The ministry is great. It's you've been there. There's a huge need for Jesus, just like everywhere. We all need him so much. So we just did our part. Bill and I and our family are not what people think. Like we walk through it. We like figure things out. We really need to like rely on God. And sometimes it's hard. Like sometimes to take that step of faith is very difficult. So it wasn't easy, but it was amazing.
Yeah. Thank you, Grace. I thank you for sure. And I think sometimes we want it all written out and we'll sign the contract. I think sometimes he gives us a blank sheet and he goes, sign the contract. I'm like, you didn't tell me everything. But I just
Wait, did I sign up for this?
Yeah, I signed up for it, but I don't remember you telling me this, Lord. I appreciate that. That's a good lesson learned. So so it's funny because I see you people person, and I see Bill when he was there. I could go off into the desert and I'll be fine.
Good.
He's great with people.
Yeah, 18 chickens and seven dogs. Yes.
I hid behind that chicken coop when we were playing hide and go seek, and I was like, "Where are chickens here? It still smells like chickens."
It does. It does. Yeah.
But it's cool to see your personalities work together for the kingdom. And even Bella said, "My dad always knows what to say," and you do. When we got in small groups, that was awesome. The debrief, leading well. But there's times like we all do. We just need to go. Even if you're people person like I am, I said I have enough people.
Right.
I need to go do something else.
Go up the hill to the cross.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, there's a cross.
Literally, go up the hill to the cross.
If podcast people are listening, there's a hill with a cross on, not the cross, but a cross.
No.
Such a cool spot that we debriefed, an absolutely beautiful area to be in. So, Bill, how was your experience?
It was great. It was difficult. It was hard. It was trying. It was everything. I mean, everything to almost to the extreme. And that's why I go back to those times of depression, because I know there's no way I could have done that without walking through those times of depression, because we moved again, like we were in a nice area of Virginia, the suburbs where everything was literally 5 minutes away and friends and family. And all of a sudden you're like literally in the middle of the desert. The nearest town's an hour away, and she mentioned doing 2-hour commutes. 1 hour each way for school, and just a big transition. And for me, it was right where we were supposed to be, right where we wanted to be. We had no plans on like, hey, we're going to do this for 3 years, 4 years. Like, to me, it's like, no, we're moving.
Yep.
Yeah, Bill said he was going to be buried out back.
I mean, that was kind of my mentality.
We really were. We thought we would be there for the rest of our.
Sure. Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah. But the ministry there, it's like you're in a place where literally there's every need you can imagine. So when you got people who need water, it's like water and food and clothing, and so there was always just something that was there that you wanted to help, you wanted to serve, but you were limited on your time, you were limited on resources, even just the energy, but it was the people there that we loved, that we still love.
Yep.
And people that to me are it's just family. And so just the joy of being with them and walking alongside them and just trying to be faithful to what we felt God and what God called us to do. And so it was amazing. A lot of learning experiences.
Sure.
And I think the hardest part was probably during COVID, because that was right in the middle of it. And I know
you said a lot of people passed away, right? On the res, there's a lot of
I remember watching CNN, national news, and they highlighted the Navajo Nation as the worst part in the entire world as far as death rates, the percentage. And so I would call home and people would say, yeah, I know someone who has COVID. And I know people who have died. Whole households. There was one household in Gap where 3 people, the mom, the dad, and their older daughter died in a week and a half. And so we were running food out to, we had about 125 families on our list that we were running food to, awesome. Weekly.
That's good idea.
And cleaning supplies and trying to check on people. But they, the Navajo Nation, it was really shut down for, almost a year and a half, 2 years. So it's, you're already isolated out there.
Yes. Then
all of a sudden the level of isolation just
increases.
It made it even more difficult. So, but overall, it was an amazing experience, and one that, without a doubt, we know that God had us there for that time.
Oh, yes. It's amazing. The hard situations are the ones we all know. You grow, and we don't ask for those, but good to do. I'm glad you did that for 5 years. And so when did you feel like you felt the Lord telling you to go? When do you feel?
Yeah.
Because
right?
Yeah.
So separately, we're both like, I think it might, no, and not in a bad way. Nothing happened. People always want the tea, right?
No.
But nothing happened. Yeah. It was time. The page was turning on this chapter. We didn't know what was next. There was no job offer somewhere else. We weren't, he wasn't seeking pastorship somewhere, literally no idea, but we knew it was time.
Yeah.
And it was and it was heartbreaking again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of them had a really hard time because we were taking them away again from home.
It's easier to go to something. I'm going to go to something.
Exactly.
And people understand, oh, you're going to something. We're like, no.
we're literally not.
Job-wise, you're going back to family and you still love Jesus, but it's still
exactly. All those things. And it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense to what's your plan?
Right. And that was February of 2023. And it's funny because it came to an end just like it started. I can remember I was in the parking lot waiting for my daughters to finish track, and I'm sitting there, and and just the words, "Your time here is done." And it was the exact same thing. And I'm like, this seems like, again, we were in the middle of planning the budget for the next year. I mean, and wanting to, like,
Yeah.
I mean, we were connecting with some other cool ministries and partners and nonprofits, and just having this thought. And so I called Grace, like from the parking lot, and her immediate response is, "Yeah, I've been there for 6 months, but I didn't want to say anything. But I didn't want it to be me. I wanted to make sure."
Yeah, it's not all about
And that
Grace
was,
or us. Yeah, I get it.
And so that was February, and then I mean, just it was like, all right, well, let's keep praying about it. Let's talk to some of our board members and other people, and just
seek counsel.
And the more we did, the more we could just see, that this was coming. And then it was like, well, if we're going to do this, we need to get back before school starts in Virginia. But and you mentioned this, but that was the hardest thing, because it was like we do. I mean, now we know we were leaving because, and I tell my kids this, I always want to do what I believe God's calling me to do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if I make a mistake, it's going to be an honest mistake. But I want to be careful. I want to pray about it. I want to talk to people about it. But I always want to do what I believe, and we feel the same way, that that what God's calling us to do. But that was the hardest thing, is just, well, he's calling us to leave, but I'm not sure what we're going to do. And I can remember like being there, having a rough day as we're packing and as we're planning, and Grace was just kind of saying, it's kind of like Abraham.
Yeah.
When God came to Abraham, he just said, I want you to go. Yeah. And I will show you along the way, but I'm not going to give you full.
I don't like that.
And I don't either. And so that was, I mean, when we left out of there July 3rd of 2023, I mean, it was like we had no clue like what was next or what was the plan. Or, I mean, we knew, her parents gracefully allowed us to come home and live with them.
Yeah,
we didn't have a place to go. And so, I mean, those 2 years were, I mean, to me,
that was some wandering.
The hardest. I mean, moving there was not, I mean, it was difficult, but it wasn't
going to something. Yeah.
It was like we knew what we were doing, but coming home, it's like, okay, God, I have no clue what you're doing or why this is happening or what the plan is. If, are we doing the right thing? I feel like we are, but you want us to, I'm 47. You want me to go back and live with my in-laws and like,
no, I get it.
It's wonderful, by the way.
That was great. But you by the world standard, you feel like you're like a
loser. Yeah. I mean, I got it. I live with my in-laws after seminary.
Right. For Bill, it's different. For me, I'm like, I'm going home, live with my mom, my dad. Like, but, and I can understand and I can see that. So that was difficult for all of us. My kids thrilled, got to be with we call them Lolo and Lola. So I can understand for him, that was a really difficult time and figuring out like, God, what's next? Me, I went back into the classroom. I was taking care of the girls. So for him, it was a really reckoning, like, God, like, we want to serve you. Where do you want us to go?
And if you knew it was 2 years, you'd be like, okay. But
we didn't.
It could be.
We did not.
I don't know how long it could be, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure my mom was like,
Well, even the 2 years to me seem long. Like I'm like, I'm hoping by a year. Okay, God, I'm going to give you 6 months to a year.
Oh, you're giving God. You were telling God.
Yeah, that year comes by and it's like,
and he's like,
nothing.
Wow. What I really think I admire you guys' faith. I think these are some lessons through these. We're talking to people about productive life. What's a productive life? Following God's voice, being faithful in it, even though you're not sure where everything's going.
Right.
Because we all like the surety of the American dream, and this is what we should be doing. So I think that's a cool lesson. So 2 years, what were you doing, Bill?
Bill. No, I'm just
I don't know.
And Grace kind of had the idea is like, all right, how about you just take a year to kind of, and I didn't realize, like, I mean, coming home from Arizona, just the things that we went through, and I mean, there were definitely signs of burnout that we didn't see before. So it took some time to really decompress and to just kind of get back to a healthy state, I guess. Not that we were in a bad place, but just looking back, like, man, our marriage was a lot more. There's more tension that we realized, and we were not as close as just things like that. So for me, the 2 years was doing that, but at the same time too, trying to figure out what was next. But I think for me, and I let Grace kind of share her perspective on her, but I think for me during that time, I finally, I think, realized that the lesson I learned there is for me was God asked, okay, where is your identity? Because I struggled because, okay, before I was a pastor at this church in Virginia, then I was
teacher,
a teacher or a missionary or a nonprofit, founder, and all of a sudden I get home. I was like, well, I live with my in-laws and I have no job. And I struggled because like I don't know what to tell people, and we couldn't, had a hard time finding a home church and just having connections, and that was the thing. Realized, okay, no, and just over time realized, no, my identity is in Christ, and like I am a follower of Jesus.
Yes.
And that is my identity, and I don't need another identity to find rest in or peace in or comfort in. And just, that was to me really a 2-year process of in a way, I think, circumstances, but also God removing everything, and also showing me that he cares about me, and not just my performance.
Yeah.
So for 20 some years in ministry, it was like, do things. And those were 2 years where I was still trying to serve, but didn't have a place or a title, but it was really, even during that time, God I care about you. God, I love you, and not, and it's not your performance for me, it's you. And so just that was, and that was it wasn't a time where you go off into the woods and have a beautiful devotion. It was, it was wrestling with God, but it was over that time that God was in that wrestle, getting his message across and what he wanted me to see and to break me down kind of in that. So, the first year was that, but also the second year that I was there, I started teaching. So I've, whenever I didn't know what to do or needed something to do, teaching has been something I've kind of gone back. I think I've taught probably about 9 years full time. And so I went back to teaching 6th and 7th and 8th grade math.
Yeah. Wow.
And Bible, but still trying to figure things out. So that was my 2 years, but Grace's was a little bit different.
Yes. So I took care of the family.
You brought the bacon home?
Yeah, so much bacon at my private Christian school.
Oh, no, I taught a private. You don't get a lot of bacon. A lot of reward.
I went back into the classroom. And for me, those 2 years were really, for both of us, not that, like you said, like you mentioned, our marriage wasn't falling apart, but it wasn't like at its best. So just rebuilding us, maintaining our family. Like you've met some of my girls, like they're amazing. And
they are.
Another gift that Arizona gave us is just our family relationship.
Yeah, you're all together.
We're all, it's the Team 6 Manning. Of us on the res. Yeah. You saw the house, you saw their bedrooms, yes, that's where we were. And we grew so close together. The girls, they have their moments, but they're friends. And that's awesome. Those 2 years, it was us making sure we were on track. The girls making sure everybody was like healing from the move and getting them back into, their routines and, reconnecting their friendships and relationships. And really for me, it was, again, God saying, am I enough? Am I enough? Like, you think you want this, Grace, you think you need this, you want the security of this, your husband, what's your husband? We all struggle with those things. We might not say it out loud, but we're prideful sometimes. We want to be like, we want people to think well of us, maybe. Not that it matters. It was really, again, a strengthening of my relationship with God and just making sure we were continuing. Like, that's all we want to do. And that's all what we want to teach our girls. Like, if you are good with God, everything else, it's not going to be easy. And it's not always going to look how you think. Like, by the world standards, like, we should be something. It doesn't make sense. But everything's going to be okay. Like, if God is your sole focus and purpose, he is going to, like, I think about the song, I think it's Psalm 63, like, I cling to you. My soul clings to you. You hold me in your right hand. That's nothing's going to go wrong. In the big picture, nothing's going to go wrong. Like, he's already got it. We've already won. I'm going to be with him later. Like, all this little stuff that kind of distracts us.
And in Hebrews, 11, they see all these great guys, but they didn't see everything on earth. that really helps me to say, hey, they didn't get rewarded. Moses didn't get to the promised land, which really sucks. You're like, he did all this and he doesn't get there.
So many years.
And it was 40 for him, right? So and he, at 80 years old, he kind of gets to go, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I agree with you. Sometimes it's like, and for men, I think too, the identity thing, and even for ladies, I'm a teacher. And when you walk into some, what do you do?
Yeah, that's the first thing.
What do you do? And guys in Kensington, sometimes you're not doing anything. So
Right.
it's like, and it's weird to say, who are you? What's your identity? But we say we're a candlestick maker, baker, whatever, and that's how we're identified. So it seems like that 2 years was a kind of a respite, reset. God knew. Glad it wasn't 40 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
And from there, should take us to that, and then we'll talk about what's going on in the future. Thank you for listening to the Productive Lives podcast. You can expect new episodes every Monday. And if you like the show, please subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. This helps others like you find the show. The Productive Lives podcast is supported by Productive Lives, where our mission is people serving people, and our vision is to motivate people to improve their lives and the lives of others through servant living and leadership. If you want to live a productive life and help improve the lives of others, visit our website for more information, productivelives.org. The Productive Lives podcast is produced by Studio D Podcast Production and hosted by me, Cam Garvin. I'll see you next week for more stories of resilience and conversations about lives and ideas that are productive.